Afternoon, good morning, good night, wherever you are. What's you see in the building? Welcome to episode 2, y'all. Paint to the Fifth podcast is here. You already know we got a good episode going. So as y'all know, I'm Jay. We got Dwayne here, of course, the man of the hour, the iota, the O, the Omega. Episode 2. This is gonna be fun. We just wanted to use this episode to make things a little more personal, kind of give our thoughts, a couple hot takes, hopefully. Start off with Bloodline storyline, just kind of segue into the hot topic, what's going on in WWE, how we feel. Just because I feel like at the moment, WWE, not really still, but, you know, ain't too much going on in this season. Once we start hit the road to WrestleMania, obviously these storylines start to go. But I do feel like this Bloodline storyline is really, really hitting. So I'm going to transition that to man O. Just kind of what you think. How do you feel about everything that's going on in the past couple of weeks? How you feel about, just like we already see it, right? No promos going on. It's just Roman coming out straight to battle. No words expressed. So I'll let you take the floor.
OTC, of course. Shout out to Dwayne for, the merch. You see where we at with it. Merch. Get your merch. Get your merch. Don't forget, get your merch. But uh as far as the bloodline goes, of course, as everybody knows, and if you don't know now, you know. My favorite member is Jacob Fatu. He continues to show me uh amazing growth and progress week to week. On a week-to-week basis, he's to me the best member of the quote-unquote new bloodline that we have currently. And as far as the storyline is growing, I'm happy to see that Roman Reigns has finally fully he came back and he's fully active again. I think that's going to be a great thing to see develop. And I read online actually that the reason that they brought Roman back was because they were uh, kind of nervous that Jimmy was going to get booed and things of that nature. So that was something that I found interesting as far as a Jimmy update. I don't know what's going on with Jimmy, but that's kind of crazy. They had to bring back the tribal chief so he don't get booed. That's kind of crazy to hear. I hope that's not true, Jimmy, if you're watching. 'Cause I know it's a possibility you're going to be watching.
For sure.
I feel bad for you, bro. Because, dang, but as far as the whole bloodline go, I'm pretty excited for the future because the past has been amazing. But we'll see how it grows. Oh,
Gotta throw that New York shit in there.
100%. 100%.
How you feeling, Dwayne? How you feeling?
Yeah, man. I think just 2 weeks after SummerSlam, like Jay mentioned, O mentioned, just Roman coming back. It's just been fights. It's been no on mics, promos, anything like that from Roman, which is new, but I'm starting to appreciate it. I don't think you got to rush him to speak. I don't think there's any reason to rush him to speak right now. Um, I like the build up because at a certain point Paul Heyman's going to be back around. At a certain point, Jimmy's going to be back around. Jay may be back around. I think you see it. It's like that slow cook up. So I definitely appreciate that. And even what O said, I kind of agree. But I just been feeling that way with almost everything big storyline related. That if Roman Reigns' name is attached to it right now, that's just where the money is. That's just where the pop is. That's where the money is.
Jeff
That's
Kiss.
he's he's that guy. He's
He's
him.
Yes, sir.
As the kids say.
Yes, sir.
I always want to use that
Yes,
term.
sir.
As the kids say,
Yes, sir.
he's him. He's the one. And I'm looking forward to how that looks for Jacob Fatu. And I think that's like I was saying, but that's one of the things that I appreciate about this run the most. I think you could legit say 5 or 6 at minimum people's careers took a turn for the better just under this bloodline storyline. And you gotta give Roman the props for that. And you gotta give the co stars they props for playing their roles in a great way, and give Paul Heyman a lot of credit too. But that's one thing that I appreciated so much about this storyline. Like Roman coming back and being buried by Jacob Fatu is we gonna care more about that look for Jacob Fatu. That don't do nothing to Roman. Like that don't put us him lower in our book. So him just still being willing to sell for if they're new members of the bloodline, if they're new members to the storyline, his willingness to sell, his willingness to give. He's a very giving performer. You can tell he understands it all now. So yeah, moving forward, I'm just excited for what this hopefully War Games match look like. I'm actually more forward looking to a War Games match than I am for whatever comes out of WrestleMania, which we know probably is going to be The Rock, most likely. But I'm looking forward to even just how the story continues to progress. It's exciting for
War
sure.
Games is like usually like what, like October, November.
October, November, yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
might be.
I think War
I
Games
think that's
is
probably the draw too, because it's like I said, like we kind of in that season of
yeah,
like WWE just ramping up storylines to make it to
Yeah.
like that road to
is
WrestleMania.
War Games and
So
King
it's like
King the Survivor Series the same thing? It's still the same, right? It still
Yeah.
goes on
it
same
is.
time, same thing. Okay,
Oh,
I
it's
don't
not
think
just
in.
they
wanted to
Okay,
announced
verify.
that for
okay.
this year yet. I don't think they announced the specifics because I know they was adding War Games onto Survivor Series since it was already that team format. They didn't really announce the specifics of Survivor Series this year because Survivor Series is usually team versus team format. That's kind of usually the theme. So I think it'll be the same this year, and I think they got a bunch of different matches to do that
I
with.
wonder how it's gonna do with them having this bad blood on PLE.
Yeah,
That
and
makes it
then
a
I think
little bit
Bad
more
Blood.
interesting.
I think Bad Blood is in Atlanta, and I believe that is Cody Rhodes' hometown. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do for that. We know you're not dropping the belt in Atlanta. That's not happening.
They probably gonna prop that PLE for sure.
Yeah,
Because
for sure.
if it's like a revamp, and like obviously like people are fans of that pay per view because it used to be a thing, then I could imagine them trying to really put they soul into creating like quality matches. Because I
Yeah,
think even if you look at like what Bash at Berlin that's coming up right now, like
yeah,
4 or 5 card match is nothing like over the top. Like damn, I want to see this. They're good
yeah.
matches, but nothing that's gonna make you like, damn,
In
like this is
in the anime world, we call this a filler. So it is, man. Filler.
Yeah,
Nah, but that's what I was saying. Like, it seems like the only hot topic right now is just the bloodline stuff. Like, Dwayne been saying it, man. I'm starting to realize it. Cody Rhodes is some nigga. I hate to say it, but just like I don't know, man. It just they can't never find a good position to fight for that title, right? Like we look at the Kevin Owens thing. It's cool, but like outside of that, like what is like they don't do nothing for anybody.
yeah,
We might see a Kevin Owens heel turn, right? We might see that. But even with that, with once we seen that solo promo last Friday, we were infinitely more invested in that, right? Because he took the belt from Jacob Fatu.
Right.
Now Jacob Fatu becomes his enforcer. Now we like, I like all eyes is on what's about to happen next. Roman
for
got the
sure.
shit beat out of him. We don't know what happened to him, where he at. Paul Heyman is gone. I don't know what's going on with Jey Uso. He don't want no parts of this. So it's like, I don't know, like, but do y'all feel that Bash at Berlin is gonna like give us the next chapter of the Bloodline stuff? Because like I don't know, it feels like they slowly trying to just weave everybody back into that storyline in general, which I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of because like to be honest, I want to say the Bloodline stuff is stale, but
Mm.
it's I keep looking for more, right? Like I keep looking for something else. I like where it is now, what they've been able to do when Roman's back. I'm like I don't think they could just keep bringing in brothers and cousins. You know, like we always hearing about
Yeah,
like another
Funny.
Fatu
That's
somewhere.
a good one.
I was on Twitter the other day. They talking about Rakishi got another kid. Every other week he got
That's funny.
another offspring somewhere just doing super kicks. Like,
Yo, 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 Rakishi.
Rakishi got another kid.
They said Rakishi need to wrap it up. That's crazy,
Come on,
Rakishi.
come
Come
on.
on, Kish. Come on, Kish.
I'm
Come
like,
on,
dude, man.
Rakishi.
Right?
Yeah.
Yo, people were making jokes. They'd be like, "Yo, this
Yeah,
bloodline about to last forever, man. Everybody got like 4 or 5 kids.
Word.
yeah.
Like even Jacob Fatu got kids. So imagine when they grow up,
He got
they
like
gonna want
he got
to.
like 5 of them.
But
Yo,
even in that, right, you gotta appreciate their ability to like, cause you got in any storyline in the WWE, we gonna feel like it's stale. I think we just gotta remember that they're every single week. They record every single week. It's
every
weekly
week.
episodic television, so it's
Yeah,
gonna be those 3 or 4 weeks where we feel like it's been stale because you can't waste what you got coming up for the Rumble, what you got coming up for Survivor Series, and ultimately WrestleMania. And to answer your question, Jay, I don't think Bash at Berlin is going to be a big turn in the Bloodline storyline specifically. It wouldn't even be. It wouldn't surprise me if they don't even have a match on that card. I know, it being in another country, they might be
yeah.
pushing from sponsors and stuff. They might be pushing for a Roman Reigns appearance or something like that. I don't know how that's going, but I don't think this particular PLE is going to be a turning point. And I think the next PLE is probably going to be Survivor Series, where we go, okay, this is the turning point. Now we're seeing what's happening. And I think ultimately that biggest shift is going to be when they move to Netflix. I think that's when we're going to start seeing the storyline. I think they're saving a lot for that move to
Okay.
Netflix. I don't know what
I
the
agree.
specifics may be, but I know that's when they said Pat McAfee is coming back. I know that's when they said John Cena is coming back. I know they were saying that's when The Rock may come back. So I
Yeah,
think
they
even in the
gearing up.
Bloodline storyline, yeah, I think so. I think towards the rest of this year, besides the War Games match, I think what's next is just a slow but steady, build up to what that's ultimately going to look like towards the Rumble and towards WrestleMania.
Because like O said, it's the filler to a degree because and I
Yeah,
said that before too. I say it all the time. Like the stuff that Triple H says, he's like the story never ends. You have 3 shows a week that you got to do for a year, years on years and years, and you're always trying to build to something. So it's like trying to just find the right. Maybe that's just me being overly critical, like wanting to see something pop off right now, but like trying to also understand that wrong. Like it's you gotta build everything. You can't just throw it out all
Hmm.
in one shot because it just dies off. And and
yeah,
and to a degree, like we even
And
felt
wrestling
like that
fans get bored
with
quick.
yeah, like we felt
yeah,
like that with the Bloodline story when it first started, right? Like we had Sammy in there, we had the Russo, we had Solo. Everybody was there. And it wasn't they was just winning week to week, every pay per view. You knew Roman was coming out with the belt up until they just decided to give Cody the belt. But even at that point, it was like damn, like they just did.
yeah.
But my other point was like, how do y'all feel in terms of the way that they're scheduling these PLEs now? Like, because it seems like, right, we have a PLE that happens in maybe like 2 3 weeks after like, I guess what they were phrased as like the initial like main pay per view, right? So like we just had SummerSlam, and then 2.5 weeks later we're already bashing. Do y'all feel like that's a good method, or do y'all think that's like more just like a marketing thing? Because it seemed like right every time they go outside overseas to another country, it's they pick one premier wrestler. They be like, okay, he's the head of this PLE, right? And that's pretty much Gunther in this sense, right? Because he's obviously was he German, Austrian, right? Something like
Hmm.
that.
Yeah,
Like
something like that. Yeah,
clearly, this is his. Like he's the face of the poster. Like it's clearly a pay per view. Same thing like we seen with like Rhea Ripley. We seen with like Damian Priest and Bad Bunny when they did the PR. You know,
yeah,
seen it when they go to France, go to Italy. Like there's always a superstar or somebody they pick, and it's like a to the, you know, that's why we got Clash at the Castle. Like cool PLE, but we know when we see Clash at the Castle, it's Drew McIntyre. It's the two Scottish chicks, Isla Dawn and them. That's why they ended up
yeah,
winning the women's tag titles.
yeah.
How do y'all feel like? Do y'all appreciate it, or do you feel like they could do some dad pay per view itself?
You know, I I like it. I like it because it allows us to get a chance to really see what it looks like when another star is the premium, the head of a card. I think moving Roman Reigns away from the head of a card, or even Cody Rhodes sometimes away from the head of the card. I think it allows these other superstars to kind of see where they're at. Like for example, a Gunther, he's gonna be that's probably gonna be the main event, right? Him versus Randy Orton. I think it gives WWE and I think it gives Gunther a chance to see, okay, what tickets are selling, what merch is moving, what is it looking like when I'm at the top of the card. So I can get an understanding of the things that I can work
Okay.
on. It gives other stars a chance to grow, right? Because we know the Summer Slams, we know the Royal Rumbles, the WrestleManias. Those are for the top of the top, right? We know
Mm-hmm.
those are going to be the Romans pay per views, the Cody pay per views. On the women's side, usually the Charlotte Flair, or now the Rhea Ripley's and the Bianca Belairs. We know that's going to be their pay per views. That's why even at SummerSlam we didn't have a Kevin Owens or Randy Orton match. They just kind of interrupted the Cody Rhodes match with Solo, but they didn't have a match at SummerSlam. So I
Yeah.
think it also gives a chance for those guys to be back in the spotlight. Now Kevin Owens getting a title match and Randy Orton getting a title match, both at Bash at Berlin, both who weren't on the card at SummerSlam. So I think those other pay-per-views, they play that role to where it's like, okay, let's not forget about these other guys who are probably a step or two ahead of mid tier, but maybe at the moment a step or two below top tier, you know? So I think it's for those guys. And I think it's great for when wrestlers come from a country that they headline a card if it's going to their country or their hometown. I just like that idea. To me, marketing wise, that makes sense. Business wise, that makes sense. But I think it also shows an appreciation for your talent and where they come from. And for anyone else that's looking to come from that particular region or state or country, it gives them that optimism like, hey, Gunther's from here, they had a PLE here. I can
Yeah.
do this next.
That's
So
good.
I think it makes sense for sure.
What you think of?
But yeah,
Um, Me personally, I agree with a lot of the things that Dwayne was saying, but the only thing for me is too much of anything could sometimes be bad. So I think they do have to sometimes slow it down at least from a month to month basis. Some months they need to take some time off maybe from the PLEs. Not too much months. I don't want to say like take a month off from a PLE, but I don't think they should keep doubling it up where it feels like we're getting two PLEs per month.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
kind of exhausting. I ain't gonna
Yeah.
lie. Like it's
It
exhausting.
definitely
yeah,
it
Um,
100% be feeling
and
like that. Like,
and then
damn it.
it gets predictable as far as the storyline because we start to feel like as if for instance this PLE coming up, we're calling it a filler because it feels like nothing of importance is really gonna happen.
Yeah, like
yeah,
throwaway matches.
Honest truth, it doesn't feel like anything done in the PLE is gonna be something that is unexpected. You know,
yeah,
all the things that currently is going on. The SmackDown before the PLE might be better than the PLE, which is really unfortunate to say. So,
That's happened a
yeah,
couple times actually.
yeah,
so it's it's tough for me. I'm up in the air with
Yeah.
that question right now because it's kind of tough for me. I, I definitely love it for people who don't really get to show that they are main card and main event material. But at the same time, I don't want the PLEs to become oversaturated. Long story short.
yeah,
I feel that. Yeah, but nah, always 100%. That's the way I feel. You know, like not not to shit on AEW because I do watch AEW, but it makes it feel like I said, throwaway matches, right? Like it makes you feel like when you watch it, it's matches for the sake of matches, which is kind of
Hmm.
AEW staple. Right? They don't really sell you on too many storylines. It's like, yo, we got these fire talent. Get in the ring, do some flips, do some spots, like do something crazy, make the crowd like hype. So it's like it's interesting that they kind of got this like you know sort of double double PLE running per month. I mean, I appreciate it. Like Dwayne said, from a marketing standpoint, you get to see certain things, um, but that's also why it's like it goes hand in hand. It's like filler, but okay, they want to see where this person is at in terms of fans and audience. But that's truly why I feel like the only important storyline is right now is just the bloodline stuff, just everything Roman's doing, everything Solo's doing. It's the most interesting. It keeps us glued to the TV, right? So that's why I wanted to kind of also segue into the next topic. Um, it's kind of going over Mount Rushmore's, so because I feel like right now the run that Roman has, even post title, I still look at it as a run, right? Like even though he was gone for some time, um, this like the stuff he's able to do, right? The stuff he's able to do with his family, and have everybody sort of roped into this cinema like just thing. It's not even just a storyline. It's everything. It's everybody involved. It's where the company's at now, like taking it to heights, and because obviously at the end of the day, right, WWE, like we know this is all scripted and planned, but to be able to entertain a crowd like this, where like we see a lot more what's behind the curtain these days, right? Like you can easily go on Twitter and be like, oh, here's the backstage video from Roman and Cody hugging it out after WrestleMania. Like, here's this. Like, we see stuff like that. But for them to make a story like this at the current moment, and it's like, yo, like I'm invested. Like, we haven't really been able to say that about wrestling in a minute. Probably since like Rock and Stone Cold days. So I just wanted to know, like, where y'all at with this Mount Rushmore. I know what Oz's. But this topic I definitely want to start with, just giving off.
Talking about Mount Rushmores, right? I think for me, and again, just I want to level set, right? For me, I'm talking about from when I began watching wrestling to where I am now. So names like Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair may not be on my list because the bulk of what they did and who they are was well before my time, and I'm not going to try to use videos and old stuff to be like, all right, this is my Mount Rushmore. Sorry about that. Just wanted to level set. But number one, I think is probably going to be unanimous on all of our Mount Rushmores. Definitely Stone Cold. I don't think there was anybody. I don't think there was anybody more over than Stone Cold. There's probably not people that sold more merch than Stone Cold. And I think from like Brooklyn 316 for a fact, I think Stone Cold was legit the from promo to in ring and everything in between. I think the most complete package of a wrestler I've ever seen. So Stone Cold definitely got to go on my Mount Rushmore. And he was doing what we all wanted to do, like say "f you" to the boss. We all had a moment of time or two in our life. Just wanted to, yeah. We was in middle school and junior high school and high school putting the FUs up. So Stone Cold for sure. I think next on my Mount Rushmore list for me is John Cena. I gotta put John Cena on my Mount Rushmore because he held down the WWE post post attitude ever to whatever we in now, whatever we want to call that. That John Cena, man, like he created a blueprint on what I believe now is what guys like Cody Rhodes and stuff are following. John Cena, forget just the number of world championships, like holding down the WWE through multiple iterations of the thugonomics to where he is now. Like I think you got to put John Cena up there. One for just moving the company, putting the company into a better position, and being the guy after the Attitude Era. I can't even imagine trying to take that on to your shoulders. And he did that, and he was the guy throughout all of his feuds. Like he was the A side. So John Cena's on there for me for sure. Um, I think after that, let me make sure I got my list right. After that, I gotta put Take on there. Take is gonna be on my Mount Rushmore. To me, the most consistent, the most the character we were most probably in awe of, and a character that probably had limited amount of wiggle room in terms of what he could and couldn't do, like in terms of public appearances and interviews and stuff. You gotta remember, Undertaker wasn't doing any of that. He was very true to the character. So like even when you saw him in person outside of
Yeah,
WWE, and just when you hear like the level of reverence and respect that other WWE superstars have for the Undertaker. How he was the head of the WWE court. People went to him for the advice. People went to him for the next best steps and stuff. So Taker got to be on there. And
Locker room
for
leader.
locker room leader, you got to put him on there. And for me, number four got tough because to me it was between the cousins. It was between The Rock and Roman for me. I think right now I'm gonna have to put Rock there. I think the reason that I put Rock a little bit above Roman is because Rock really ushered in that wave of being being bigger than the brand. You know, like a lot of people didn't really believe. I know Hulk Hogan did that well in his time too, but I'm talking about for our time, and Ric Flair did that too. But for our time, you talk about that transition into Hollywood. I think that's important. I think Hollywood that attracted way more eyes to wrestling, so you got to give The Rock credit for that. I don't believe bar for bar, people. There's no one that had better catchphrases bar for bar than The Rock. I don't think there's anyone that had better promo skills in its totality. And The Rock now,
Hell
The
yeah.
Rock of everybody else I named, The Rock would probably have the least impressive move set. Maybe John Cena's up there too, but I think The Rock, he just took what WWE was and made it way more global than it ever been. So that's why Rock give that slight edge. And I think it's just time. I think in time Roman will replace Rock on my list, but that's where my list stand right now. So it's Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker, and
So
John Cena for me.
It's not bad. It's not a
I
bad
already know
place.
I was going 1 through 4 Roman Reigns. Oh,
That's not funny. That's not funny.
now you know what's crazy though. I've actually never heard O's Mount Rushmore. I'm not gonna lie. I never
Yeah, it's
heard
gonna be
that.
interesting.
I
I'm
don't
I'm
know
looking forward
who
to
it
it.
is.
Well, for me. Am I being practical or am I being a fan? Is the question. Because the fan me, I gotta go Triple H, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton,
Yeah,
and then John Cena. If I'm being a fan, now if I'm being
yeah,
practical, if we go on a practical list and we have to think about things that bring in the totality of things, such as selling selling merchandise, fan engagement, um, pause, mic skills, pause. Um,
yeah.
what else would it be? Fan engagement, mic skills, merchandise. What else would it be? Because
Yeah, like in
Impact
ring scales.
in
Yeah,
in
just
in skill for the last
tag
thing.
team.
So we I think I would start off with. I gotta start off with the original ring general, which is Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's the original, master of the ring. He went through a number of monikers, and he stayed true to whoever he felt like he should be. He always stayed true to himself throughout his career, and he did so much. Like,
yeah,
he did so much for the industry. It's crazy. It's crazy. The amount of fans, young and old, that he brought to the WWE was amazing.
yeah,
And he wrestled for just about every company you could think of that had the big name, the ECW, the WCW, and WWE. And he made the biggest imprint on quote unquote the biggest stage, which is WWE. So
yeah,
you got to put him definitely up there on the Mount Rushmore list. Then another person who falls into just about the same slate, which is crazy to me, is another Paul Heyman guy. That's the first Paul Heyman guy. Just pay attention. Just pay attention where we're going. Second Paul Heyman guy on my name is, of course, The Undertaker. Paul Heyman brought The Undertaker to WWE himself, which is a funny story that a lot of people don't know. Um, Paul Heyman had a lot to do with Undertaker coming to the WWE and becoming a leader in the locker room, again with the merchandise. People used to be rolling their hat. with eyes in the back of their head, like,
Yeah.
yo,
That's a fact. That's a
the
fact.
things that Undertaker did is unbelievable too.
Word,
He's another
word,
one.
word.
And then he got to a point in his career where he started submitting people. Like he went from just being a
Yeah,
Triangle
tombstone
choke.
guy, he started choking people out. Like
yeah.
Undertaker's elite. And
100%.
I just one thing that before we move on, one thing about Undertaker I really despise though is that he gave that streak to Brock Lesnar. That's nasty
Yeah.
work. It
We're
makes
gonna
me
we're gonna cover
it,
that. We're gonna have to cover that one day.
that's nasty work.
We're gonna
I
have to
got a
cover
Go
that
whole
one.
segment for that, man. I don't even
go
want to think about
yo,
that.
yo. Nasty, nasty,
That's a fact.
nasty. Moving on, Undertaker, because you.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
That's my quick take on. That's some bullshit.
I agree. I agree, bro. But moving on. Third for me on the Mount Rushmore list. Trying to think. I gotta go with John Cena because I watched him from beginning to end. I ain't gonna lie. I watched him from being a kid to being an adult, which is which is wild to think of. And yo, that dude different. I ain't gonna lie. John Cena different. I remember it was an argument that boy couldn't even wrestle, and he came out
Yeah.
doing Hurricane Ranas. He changed his whole wrestling. Yo, that man top tier. I ain't gonna lie.
And he did it in jorts too.
Yeah, don't
Just
forget
He
the
did it in
jorts.
jorts.
And he stole Tony Yayo move. I'm not gonna let
Yeah.
you
the
rock
Big
for that,
Show and
Jones.
Jorts is crazy.
In the in the
God.
dang the fourth person. I'm gonna go with my goal. I ain't gonna lie. It's not gonna be Roman, unfortunately. It's not gonna be The Rock. Even now, we gonna do five people from my list. Fuck that. Roman gotta make it. Roman,
Oh, making his own
Roman
entry
gotta
in the
make it.
mountain.
Yeah, Roman. So, the fourth person gonna be my boy Hunter Hearst Helmsley. You feel me?
Yeah.
I gotta put him on the list because one, he married the boss's daughter. Like, come on now.
Uh,
That was real futurist. That was real futurist of him. I really love that film right there. And realistically, though, looking at Triple H, he started at the bottom of the clique. You know, he's the very lowest member. Everybody was looked at as a higher tier wrestler, more important and things of that nature. When things would hit the fan, um, they punished him first for situations that we should know as wrestling fans and things of that nature. So, and to see where he's grown and the things that he's done in the business for not only himself but others on countless of occasions, I think we got to always look at Triple H as one of them ones and one of the best to ever grace not only the wrestling ring but the business itself. And then, of
for
course,
That's
sure.
real. That's real.
honorable mention
That's real.
number five, the fifth big dog, the tribal chief. You already
OTC.
know, longest reigning champ in the current era, Roman fucking Reigns,
OTC.
man. Yeah, it's so many things that you could say about Roman Reigns and his growth as a
Yeah.
character. I'm not even gonna get into it, man. If y'all not tuning in, please watch because he got a lot more to offer than the things that he's done in the past. He got a lot more going forward to give to us on the entertainment value. So, shout out to Roman Reigns, man.
100%.
Yeah. That's yo. Oh, I think old hit it right on the money with that Triple H one because that was gonna be my first pick. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It just like everything he said, right? Like if you look at Triple H's just career trajectory, right? Like how he started off, and then it was like, all right, like he got this little Prince gimmick going on, but to go from that to the moniker of Cerebral Assassin, I am the game, like it becomes this whole like mental like even into this day, right? He's kind of still stuck by that Cerebral Assassin thing, right? Because we look at him now as like a mastermind, like post Vince McMahon era. He just takes over the whole shit, and people love wrestling again. Right? People love to see this. I mean, you could even say the reason why we're doing this podcast now. Right? Like, look at the totality of like what you've done already. It's like, yo, we gotta talk about this. We gotta see like like what he's really doing and try to figure out these storylines. And, like, it makes it so much more interesting. And to have him, how he started and then to where he is now and just being the head of this company, like he was always a great wrestler. Like I felt like he, made his storylines fun. And like I said, you see that to this day too, right? Like he'll go into storylines when he was wrestling and be able to just build people up. We see him build Randy up. We see him build Batista up. We see him build Ric Flair up. Bring Ric Flair back from practically the dead.
For
We've
real.
seen him just be involved in so many great storylines. Where you're like, yo, I could appreciate these guys now. And that translating to this era where he's doing that with wrestlers and he don't even got to wrestle. He's just making the matches and booking everybody. Like, to me, I think that's automatically one. I'm
Unbelievable.
gonna have a hot take here, and y'all may agree or disagree. I'm gonna leave that for number 4. Number 2. Oh man,
Don't
number
be
2.
chicken.
Number 2, Stone Cold. I think that's a Stone Cold is Stone Cold. Like Austin 316. I just whooped your ass. Like, like just
Yeah.
you needed like. It's the ultimate. When you think Attitude Era, that's the first person that comes. Right? Like everything about Stone Cold is just cool, right? To this day, he's still cool. We like seeing his podcast, right? We like seeing him talk to other wrestlers and ask the questions he asks, and we see all about see everything about that guy is just cool as shit. From in ring to promos, like he just didn't give a shit.
Right.
And when that translates to the real world, it's like you kind of like you love it. You love to see that. You love to see some guy who just sticks it to the man. He was always beating the shit out of Vince. Like every other week, it's just dumb bad. And like, how could you not? Like y'all said, from promos to just matches, like some of the most memorable matches versus The Rock, versus Triple H. So, like, I still have that WrestleMania 17 on VHS. That's my shit.
Fire.
Like Rock versus
Yeah.
Fire.
Stone Cold. Like, that's still one of the coolest matches. And you don't even remember who wins. You just know, yo, that match was fire. Like
Mm-hmm.
Stone Cold just number 2, like easy. My third,
No, The Rock
wow,
ain't one.
my third.
I think he won the following year.
Fucked up. My third. Oh my god. I gotta say Flair. I have to say Flair. I have to say Flair. I feel like with Flair, I feel like there is no gimmicks and wrestlers as we know it today to a degree, right? Because like, okay, obviously back then it's just people in tights wrestling and beating each other up, and their finishing move was a body slam, right?
Yeah.
or
Chill,
like,
don't fraud him. Chill, chill.
or a clothesline, like a suplex, right? Like it's just mad basic, but
Proof. One, two.
it's shit over, like, and people were losing their minds. But like, if you think about Ric Flair, the character, right? Ric Flair and what he brought to the game, and how he was flashy. It was the suit, it was the gimmick, it was the mic skills. Like, oftentimes, honestly speaking, you really look towards a Ric Flair promo more than you do his wrestling. His wrestling was cool, but he's the old school technical guy, right? Like he's not gonna do nothing flashy. He's gonna do submissions, thumb in the eye. He's gonna be dirty. Right? That's his whole spiel. He's the ultimate heel. But what Ric Flair brought to the game was the idea of that promo guy, right? He's gonna talk his shit. He's gonna show off his diamonds. He's gonna show off the shoes. Everything is leather, crocodile, animal skin of some sort. The shades, the women, the plane, and think about like how that has translated to the real world, right? everybody wants to be like Ric Flair. Everybody wants to be flashy. He's in all the videos. He's chilling with the Migos. They making songs about him. Ric Flair drip. Like think about all of that. Like you
Chilling with
just
the
you just
Migos.
want to be cool like that guy. It's like I feel like his real world impact, just from WWE and outside of that is so vast. I'm like, I have to include him. I have to. But
No,
that's
for
also
sure.
why that's also why I think number 4 is gonna get people a little bit, because I'm thinking about it in that sense, right? Like it's not just the in-ring stuff or what they brought to the company, it's like the impact as a whole, right? So my number my number 4. Yeah, y'all not gonna really Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy's number 4. Jeff Hardy is number 4 on my Mount Rushmore. I told you it's a hot take. It's a hot take. But I'm gonna explain why, right? It's the same. It's the same thing like Ric Flair, right? Jeff Hardy as a whole, like his style, he brought the high flying to the sport, right? Why y'all laughing? Like, is that crazy?
No. My
Wait, what did
bad,
y'all
bro.
expect though?
My bad, bro. No, please finish your Jeff Hardy explanation. My fault. I was just surprised. I thought you were about to say something about like Kurt Angle or something. You said,
No, I
you
was thinking
said,
about that too. I was thinking
all
about
right,
that too.
no.
Nah.
Please explain your Jeff Hardy take, please. Please, the fans
No,
need to
I
know.
threw Jeff Hardy in there just specifically because I feel like he he brought something to, like, obviously, he's not the premier wrestler. We know that. He didn't impact the game in its totality, but he brought something to that tag team division that will pretty much always last, right? Like we know the Hardys, the Dudleys, and Edge and Christian, like that's TLC, that's ladder matches, that's using the tables. Like we have that whole like idea of the high flying aspect, the hardcore aspect. Like Jeff Hardy was really that guy. Like people wanted to do the fucking Swanton bomb, and like you want to do the little dance he do when he come out. Everybody knows the theme song. Like he has that impact. Like obviously not for the totality of like WWE. He ain't vastly impact the company in that way, but in terms of just like just the tag team division, that mid card game. Like he brought that ass. People was hyped when he was WWE champion. It may not have been like the best. Everybody wanted to see this guy progress as a character. So that's Jeff Hardy. I think is one of the ones.
We made it. We going viral. We made it. We made it. We made it.
Jeff Hardy is one of those ones.
My bad, Jay. I just was shout out to Jeff Hardy, man. Shout out to Jeff. Definitely. Shout out to Jeff, bro. Jay said Jay Mount Rushmore was triple. It was Stone Cold. It was Ric Flair and Jeff Hardy.
Yep.
Listen, I mess with it, Jay. I rock with it. I rock with
I
it.
had to throw that wrench in there.
I rock with it.
He was gonna say Perk Angle for TNA or something.
Nah, see, I thought about Kurt Angle, but I felt like I don't know, like that probably would have been an easy. That was too easy to just throw out.
Jeff Hardy.
That's one of the ones you just think of automatically. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Jeff, man.
Jeff Hardy's my guy, man.
Honestly, when you said Jeff Hardy, all I could think about is that match when he tried to wrestle Sting and shit.
All right, that ain't the Jeff Hardy I'm talking about.
The reason I laugh, bro said Jeff Hardy. I said, what?
like pre 2006 Jeff Hardy is where
Yeah, I could eliminate like 10 superstars. Jeff Hardy still won't make my mouth watch.
I'm.
Shout out to Jeff though. Shout out to
Hey,
Jeff.
Jeff,
All
it's
love, Jeff.
fine.
No problems. No issues. All love, Jeff Hardy. Mount Rushmore. That was fire.
Right. See, oh no, see, spoke
No, no kids outside doing that, Jay. Cut it out. Ain't no kids outside.
Team Extreme, nah.
Oh, that is too
Oh my
great.
gosh, man. But hey, the theme song fire. The theme song, that's
Jeff
my guy,
Hardy.
man. That's my guy.
Shout out to
But
Jeff.
that's funny because mentioning theme songs. I did stumble upon this Bleacher Report article, which I think we gotta address too, because y'all
Yes.
gonna y'all gonna laugh just like y'all laughed there.
Motherfucker.
Y'all gonna be a little shocked by this list. I'm looking at it now. It's a little crazy. It's a little wild.
Tell me
Uh,
about it, please.
this is Bleacher
Not
Report
the
top
beautiful.
25 WWE theme songs of all time. So we 100% gonna have O start off with this one. And I'm gonna read you this whole list. Number 4 sounds crazy. First off, that's one. But I'm gonna read you this list right now. All right, so yeah, this list is crazy, y'all. Like I,
Yeah.
this is as follows, straight off the Bleacher Report. This is not me.
Yeah.
So 1 through 10. First up, which okay, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's number one.
Number 2, that's number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, Undertaker. 3, Chris Jericho. 4, Randy Savage. I don't know about that one. That's a little crazy. I don't even know. I don't remember the theme song, but that's number 4. 5 is Edge. 6 is The Rock. 7 is Batista. Number 8 is Bret Hart. Number 9, CM Punk. And number 10 is Triple H.
Okay, I have a question. Were they dead ass when they came up with this list? Like, was it like a list made up of like, wh- what comprised them to make this list the way they made it? What what made them come up with this list this way? Was it based on like, is this the most iconic songs?
All it says is top 25 theme songs all time. There's no criteria. It's just a straight tweet. Like 1 through 25.
Wow.
I mean,
That
the
list is a
thing that
little
sticks out
depressing.
the most is that Randy Savage theme song because I don't even know the theme song. Like who or what put that number 4?
There's so much wrong with this list. One, how many of those songs that they chose actually have lyrics?
Mhm.
I think only Chris. Well, I did 1 through 5, right? Only Chris Jericho and Edge got lyrics.
And I think you did 10.
You did 10.
No, I did 10.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I did 10. Edge, The Rock,
Yeah. Triple H
Batista.
got lyrics. CM Punk got lyrics. Uh, do Batista got lyrics?
Batista got lyrics. Yeah, I
Batista
Walk
got
Yeah.
Alone.
lyrics.
Yeah,
Edge got lyrics.
There's
The
five
Rock
of
don't
them.
really got lyrics.
yeah. That's more just like a little audio cue.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know about this list. I don't know. I don't know. Not
Y'all
really.
want 11 through 25?
Nah. If we got 1 through 10 and it was this ass, I don't think I don't think 11 to 25 is going to save the list. Listen.
No,
I
it's
think
gonna
it
make it worse.
probably was. It's going to make it worse. Probably just. Oh, what's your reactions to the list, or what would be your top 5 if this list is just so out of the blue? Like, what would be maybe some of your tops, or how would you rework the list or something like that?
Let me just tell y'all this really quick. Cena and Angle is 15 and 14. I feel like those are like iconic theme songs. How the hell is that even?
And they're lower than Cody Rhodes.
The,
Like,
the,
how is that just making
I don't
the top 15?
understand like
Like,
what the basis like the criteria of the list is like when it came to like is it just like the most that's the thing that's like I'm trying to get a like understanding of how they listed because is it just based on what's fire? Because I don't think that the top 10 was kind of not really that much fire in it. And then if it's based on iconic, they're not that. I can see some of the list staying the same. I don't think Chris Jericho's theme song, to me personally, was that iconic. I think he had iconic
Yeah.
moments with a few of his theme songs. Like of course, when he came out in 2000 with the theme song, I think that was an iconic
Like the
moment.
Y2J.
Yeah, that was an
Yeah,
iconic moment for that
Yeah.
theme song. But as far as
I
like,
think that's the one they talk about. To me, that's the only fire one. I don't know any of the
yeah,
theme songs.
break the walls is that's top 10.
Yeah, break the rules now. Yeah,
Break the
that's
walls is
fire.
top 10. That's a good song. But I don't know about this list. I'm really bamboozled by the list. But if I was to personally make a list, I'm putting John Cena in both of his songs.
Word. It's basic
Yep.
economics.
I'm being ghetto. I don't care. I got a do rag on, and I'm feeling real Brooklyn vibes. Y'all from Queens though. Then, then, then if we really talk about top 10 songs, we're gonna put JTG and Shad, Crime Time, Brooklyn, Brooklyn,
It's
bring it.
it's
Yeah, y'all gotta stop this. Y'all gotta stop. Jeff Hardy on the Mount Rushmore. Now I gotta hear about JTG and Crown Time for Thieves. All
R.I.P.
right,
Shaq.
fair enough.
R.I.P. Shaq.
We bringing the hood to you. Okay, tell you. What else? What else?
That's funny.
That's funny.
I'm surprised they didn't have Gang Real song, or just beside the top 10 list of theme songs. I don't care about if you want to think
The
about
Brew?
icon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I
yeah. I
wonder that
think
too because everybody on this list, it seems like they just obviously like top tier superstars. So I'm like, number 19 off rip. Why the hell is DX number 19? DX song is like that's a fire song.
That's
Are you
iconic.
ready?
See,
That's at least
and,
top
it's
10. At
and
least.
that's why these lists get all confusing and weird to me,
it's
right?
tough.
Because it's like you giving iconic stars. It seems like the kind of edge. This seems more a little closer to what just a top superstar list would be, as opposed to a
Of
top
course.
theme song. Like, cause for
Yeah.
me, like I think Stone Cold, the Glass Shatter, and that's just like icon. Like no one's gonna argue Stone Cold's list on anywhere on any list from theme to promo to in ring skills. That's why to me he the goat. But I think
Agreed.
also looking at this one, number 13 shouldn't even be on the list. Like we're not gonna do the Cody Rhodes thing again. I know I don't want this to make. I don't want it. I don't want this podcast to turn out to be Dwayne is the anti Cody Rhodes guy. But Cody Rhodes' theme song is not better than John Cena's, Kurt Angle's, Ric Flair's, DX's, or Roman Reigns. So it's like, come on, bro. Let's cut that out. But just to give like top three, maybe I would still go Stone Cold for me. That like I enjoy growing up. Stone Cold would be there. I would bump DX up there because that was always one of my favorite theme
Yeah.
songs. Whenever that music hit, and
Uh,
so, they had something like just like the backdrop, the theatrics, the pyros. DX
Hmm.
had some with just the best
Coming out
entrances
with the
I could
battle
ever.
tanks.
Man, yeah, when they did the battle tanks against the what was that Legacy with of course Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase when they was fighting them in that match, like
Yep.
that was just one of my favorite ones. But Stone Cold, I would go DX. Kurt Angle is much higher than me. Kurt Angle has a Mount Rushmore theme in my opinion, and I don't know, man. Something about the New Age Outlaws, bro. Like that theme song
Oh,
always got me
Oh,
hyped,
you
bro.
ain't know?
That theme song
hey,
always
you
got
didn't
me
know?
hyped, man. Your ass better
Better
call
call
somebody.
somebody.
That's bad.
Yeah,
That's
so
bad.
that'll probably be weird, girl. I don't think
Yo,
for me it's too much to say about this list in its entirety, but
Hmm.
Stone Cold. Takers, you gotta leave Takers up there too. Like them gongs, them bells ringing like
Hmm.
that. That shit always gave me the chills growing up. Like no matter when he came out,
20-minute
like
entrance.
they was effective in making sure you got a reaction when the Undertaker came out. So
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
put him up there. And And Triple H's. Triple H's is just
Yeah, Triple H
that
is
time to play the game, and then when he went to the King of Kings, bow down to
Yo,
the
but even the one
that
before
was my
those,
joint.
even the one before those, when he first started the cerebral assassin gimmick, that
Yeah,
I don't remember the song it was, but it was the same guy who did the DX theme. The
Mm-hmm.
same
yeah.
guy.
Motorhead.
That song was fire too.
Motorhead. Yeah.
Yeah, that song was good too. Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie, I'm
fire.
not mad that when we first got the Fiend, that entrance was fire. I like shout out to Bray Wyatt for him being number 17 on the list. But I'm talking about when we first got the Fiend and
Mm-hmm.
that character first
Yeah.
debuted,
Yeah.
that was like just as a one-off entrance, that was just one of the best ones.
Yeah.
That one
That
I
was a
remember.
good
That shit
one.
was like, ooh, that was a good one. But for me, yeah, that's probably as far as I would take it with this list. And then you gotta respect the CM Punk one because that cult of personality is just like, like everybody love that
It
song.
draws the
Like
pop. It draws the pop.
everybody love that song. I'm surprised though. Like I'm surprised not to at least see Seth Rollins make the top 22 because
Like
how
the
people
theme
was
song he has now.
yeah, the theme song he has with the
Yeah,
like
yeah.
people love that theme song and that song is like really kind of transcended. It's sort of like met the character. And when I say meet the character, like some really great characters have like really trash theme songs, and then some really mid characters got some really fire theme songs, like your Shinsuke
Mm-hmm.
Nakamura's and guys like that. So like when I say when the character meets the theme song, I think Seth Rollins is there with that. Like Shinsuke probably could have been on this list for me too, though.
Yes,
Yeah,
100%.
that theme is
That theme song, fire.
He had little Uzi remix it.
Oh, he
oh yeah.
did.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
ain't gonna
very
lie.
Yeah,
shocking that
So so
they wouldn't include him. After
yeah.
little Uzi remix his song, everybody like Uzi.
man, who else didn't make
Like
this list? I'm trying to think like
Teddy Long.
because you mentioned
Teddy
Gangrel. I'm
Long.
like, man,
Was
who? Oh,
Mark
Teddy
Henry
Long.
on the list?
You know, push the melody.
I'm really a fan of Mark Henry's song. Is he on the list?
Yo, what about Shane McMahon?
Yeah,
Shane
yeah, that's it.
McMahon, Shane
That's not
O'Mac.
a bad
Here
one.
comes the money.
I mean, hey, this McMahon theme song ain't too bad either.
Here comes the money.
That could have been at least in the 25.
What about Jeff Hardy theme song, Jay?
I don't even know why that's number 25. That shit should be like 8.
8 is crazy. I'm gonna just let that be known. 8 is
It should be
crazy.
like number
He
8.
said number 8.
8 is crazy.
Oh,
Oh man,
I know who. I know who's out of this list. Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero.
yeah, Eddie,
Eddie Guerrero.
Latino.
Eddie off this
And
list. Yeah,
I feel like that song he had before he passed.
yeah.
That was that. Yeah, that was it. That was it. That
He's
was
a
it.
superstar.
I ain't gonna lie though. Quick question though, because looking at this list, I'm only looking at the top 22, so I may be missing somebody. But I don't see no women superstars on this list. What's one or two of your favorite women's theme songs of all time? I don't see no women on this list.
Yeah, ain't no woman. No shit. That's right. No, that's right. Top 24. No woman. I mean,
I like China theme song.
China.
China
Yeah,
theme song.
yeah,
I
yeah.
like China theme song. Um, who else do I think got a dope
I like Lita
theme
theme
song?
song. I ain't gonna hold you. I just always feel like Lita.
Well, the Lita
Maybe
theme
I'm.
song was like later in her career, though, right? Because she didn't always have that song. I think, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think
yeah,
so either.
yeah. The Trish Stratus theme song wasn't bad either. Wasn't that Kim? That little Kim? That did that?
Yeah, that was
Mm-hmm.
that is
That
okay.
wasn't
Yeah.
bad. That
Mm-hmm.
wasn't bad.
I
I
ain't gonna
like.
lie, Bianca Belair theme has always been
Yeah,
fire to me.
yeah,
Always been fire
yeah.
to me. She don't miss
That
it.
fits her character so perfectly.
Yeah, and
I
so
like
does
that.
Charlotte Flair's. I know it's
Yeah.
kind of spin off on Ric Flair's, but
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte Flair,
The Queen gimmick.
yeah, nah.
Solid
Yeah,
Flair show.
yeah.
But yeah, I think for me that's pretty much where I would leave it. Like it's like Stone Cold is gonna be number one in almost every category, bro. Like
Yeah, just
that
about.
man the GOAT, bro. That man the GOAT.
Just about. If he
That man the
That's a
GOAT.
fact. I,
if he
I, I
not
do
one,
have
he
I
gonna be
do have a
two.
theme song. I do have a theme song, Emma, but I can't say the name. I can't say the name. I don't know if we could say that name on the podcast. I think y'all know who I'm talking about.
You talking about Chris Benoit?
Yeah.
Man.
I did like that theme song, but
Yeah.
I know it's like he can't really be affiliated with anything wrestling anymore.
Yeah. I plead the fifth.
Yeah, I plead the fifth.
That theme song wasn't bad, man. Theme song wasn't bad.
You got it, Jay. What did I say right there? Batista? Yeah, Batista was
That was kind of crazy.
Rob
Yeah,
Van
no,
Dam
that was
20. I do feel Rob Van Dam should be a little. I do like Rob Van Dam. The one of a kind theme, that was always cool.
Yeah.
Randy Orton should be higher too, I think. I think both Randy Orton's themes were good.
Where Randy Orton at?
23.
Oh yeah, my list. I don't know why it's stopping at 22. Yeah. Even looking at the top 10, I'm not really mad at the top 10, minus the Randy Savage and Chris Jericho. But Edge, you gotta respect that theme song for what that meant. Batista, Bret Hart, CM Punk, Triple H. Yeah, I would only legit argue 3 and 4. Like if somebody had the other 8, you won't get too much arguing, even if I may like not fully agree. The ones that I just don't think should be top 10 is 3 and 4. The other 8, I can understand.
Yeah.
Even if I don't necessarily agree, I can understand the argument for it.
Yeah,
I don't understand the argument for Randy Savage and Chris Jericho.
I would swap out, I think, if I'm looking at just strictly the list and the next up, I probably would swap Shawn with Randy Savage. Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. Not mad at that at all.
Take Cody out. I don't really like the Cody. I don't think it fits into that criteria here. I would push that back.
I agree with the Shawn, and then
I agree with Cena.
And yeah, I gotta say, I love Randy Savage for John Cena, and then I could probably have Kurt Angle right there at number 11 to 12.
Yeah, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%.
But yeah, that's where I stand with that list.
Yeah, I kind of agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, Bleacher Report. Yeah, they different with these, but I think that's why they do it like this. They want people chat.
Yeah, that's all. Bleacher Report don't even believe that this is the truth, so shout out to them.
Right? They're like, you know what? Let's throw a little wrench on that pool right there.
It's like, let's always start out with 1 or 2 that we know people going to just agree with. And then by the time we get to 3 or 4, let's throw a curveball in there. But yeah.
For real, man.
They got the Brood at 34.
Wait, you found more?
Yeah, it's not worth it, man. It's just disappointing.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
I agree.
We might have to save the rest of that list for another episode.
Might have to.
I think that's best.
34?
I think that's best.
They going to 50? All right, y'all. That's the cap on episode 2.
Yeah.
We thank y'all for tuning in. We enjoy just giving these talks. Everybody throw y'all ones up on TC. So next episode, we're definitely looking to transition into a little bit more basketball topics as the season starts to pull in. Looking at rankings, predictions, just to give y'all a little bit more like our favorite teams. We just really enjoy the WWE stuff so far. It's been fun to kind of add in our perspective, give y'all a little bit more personality to us who we like. Jeff Hardy, number 1. Let's get it. Going through these Bleacher Report articles, looking at the theme songs. So yeah, episode OTC. Episode 3, we just gonna look to get into more basketball talk. Try to give you a little bit more in other areas of sports. So look out for episode 3 coming up.
Until next time.